Cato the Elder by Noah Semchuk. The first interesting event is the beginning of the political career. The beginning of Cato the Elder's political career starts with his military services. It is estimated that Cato was 17 when he joined the military to fight in the Second Punic War, and when Cato got to the camp there were several legions, and he was given command of one of them by the general. Plutarch writes about how effective Cato was on the battlefield, and I quote, "In battle he shows himself effective of hand, sure and steadfast of foot, and of a fierce countenance. With threatening speech and harsh cries he would advance upon the foe, for he rightly thought and tried to show others, that oftentimes such actions terrifies the enemy more than the sword. Another thing is while he was serving his military career, he would be on a small vessel when a dangerous ship would cause him to shipwreck, but arrive safely onto land, which cannot be said for his other crewmates." Another interesting event is his actual political career. When Cato returned to Rome from his travels, he was instated into office as a censor and made great change to the staff and assistants that worked in the treasuries. Cato was not liked when he was in censorship because of how he treated the clerks of the treasury. Plutarch outlines this in one example of Cato bringing a man to trial for fraud, and Catulus Latius, the censor, came to defend the man in the trial. And Catulus openly said Cato's way of life was wrong, but lost miserably to Cato and began begging that his client be acquitted. This trial would end, and Cato would not employ the man after Catulus begged. The third interesting event is Cato's time in Athens. Cato was fluent in Greek, but loathed the thought of the ancient Greek people and people who admired them. When Cato was in Athens, Plutarch writes about a speech that Cato was supposed to give to the Athenian people, but he didn't even have the respect to speak to them directly, so he made an interpreter repeat his speech. During the speech, it is said that Cato mocked a man named Postumus Albinus, who wrote and glorified the history of ancient Greece. Primary sources of Cato the Elder include texts and writings from him directly, like De Agricultura, or translates to On Agriculture. This is important because it shows us how life on the farms were, and Cato shares many examples of recipes and how to maintain and care for a farm in ancient Rome. This primary source shows a part of society that is not spoken enough about, as it shows how more rural people lived off the land and their farms. And most information about Cato's life comes from Plutarch's writings of him. And this is my bibliography. Most of these come from Plutarch and Cato's book on agriculture. Thank you for listening and watching this presentation.